Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with it. How you doing? In honor of Mother Women. This is going to be my episode recap of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, the Black Edition. Child, just let me say this. The episode does start. I'm gonna get right on into it. Y'all ready? Come on in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell button so you can be notified when I upload a video. The episode opens up with the drama, right? So we're going back over what happened between Shanice, Bria, and Summer. And so Bria is trying to get everything straight, and so is Noelle. Everybody's trying to get everything straight. They stay up to 5 o'clock in the morning. They're going back over the same thing that happened, and why was Summer acting the way she was, and really technically her beef was more so with Bria. Now this is supposed to be the set, right? Which is why Summer was upset. She doesn't have a set. It's supposed to be her, Jordan, and Preston. Now, baby, this. Now, let me go back because I'm going to be weaving in a little bit of Jasmine's interview with Carla. Jasmine had said that the set was going to be broken. The people that went to the trip people, which was Jordan, Preston, and I think Alex went on the trip. I know Summer did. I think Bria even went on the trip, but she was like the trip people. They're the ones going to be having all the drama. Now, I don't have a lot to say about Jasmine in this episode. She wasn't really given very much, but the episode was good. And she was there because she is, to me, the nucleus of the group. So anyway, we get back to Noelle and Summer. So Noelle can't take it anymore. She has to confront her. She's like, okay, we're going to have to go on outside and talk. Now, before this, we find out that Nick is going to run a marathon. We'll get back to that later. They go out to the outside and they talk, have a conversation. Now, mind you, nobody is supporting Nick. But this is Nick's day. So, while they're talking, Summer did apologize for pushing her. And she said that, she was feeling like, her girls, her clique, had clicked up with Noelle. Because she told her, well, why don't you go ahead and hang with them? Go ahead anyway. They're in your group. And see, the difference between Noelle and Summer, it is very, very clear. These two women, one can make friends easily. One is a little bit, I want to say, edgy. That's the best way I can put it. And then, Bria said, she's just not okay with the way Summer had behaved. So this time, because remember last year she pushed her as well. This time she was just like, no, I'm not ready. So Milo is doing his thing. He's always making a mess. But he's a part of the case. So we find out that today is Nick's day. So Nick goes to the marathon. He runs the marathon. He comes in 5th place. Now, I thought just anyway that coming in 5th place in a marathon, I couldn't do what he did. I'm just saying. So he comes in 5th place and he goes back to the house. When he gets back to the house, we're about to find out why that number 5 is so important. We get back to the house and, he's like, okay, guys, I need you to do assigned duties. And this is just driving Bria crazy. She gets in confessional. If you want, someone to, take care of you in this house, it ain't me, Bria. I am too pretty to be doing anything of the sort. This is not my duty. If you want someone to clean up, get a maid. Right? No, bitch, you the maid. You are the maid. And they say, when I had my event outside of the confessional, when I had my event, nobody helped me. Niggas like, girl, if you don't want to help, don't help it. Right? Because people did help her. When we go back and do the flashback, Shanice helped her. You know, Nick even helped. So, am I calling him Nick? Is that his name? The one that look like Arthur Ashe. Oh, child. If that's not his name, please excuse me. The one that look like Arthur Ashe is throwing the event. I told you when it's big cast, I don't really like to do recaps because this is my show though. Because I'll get the names mixed up. Hey, 49 menopause. Okay. Charge it to my head. If that's your name, Nick, I'm talking about you. One like Arthur Ashe. One that ran the marathon. What's his name? Nate. Nick. Something with an N. Okay, so move right along. Bria thinks he's hired maid, and she doesn't really want to do anything because all he did was told, you know, if you don't want to do anything else, you don't want to help, clean up the bathroom. At least do that much. Because, you know, he wants to make everything special because Tasia is coming. And Tasia arrives, and he does the most special things for her, you know. But, oh, poor Tasia. Then we have Amir and his whatever that is. That he calls himself going with. That heifer is messy. Then she gonna say, well, I mean, you know, I'm not about that life. I don't want to do those things. I mean, you know, with those girls or whatever, but, you know, this is not my thing. You know, it's not my thing. What's your thing then? Caucasian light girl. You don't want to hang with the Los Negros. I keep telling y'all. And so it has been some controversy about Candace. Every time Candace makes a tweet, it's a problem. But Candace is not the only person in the audience that, you know, the viewing audience that's noticing her behavior. So, okay, Nick, it's time to get everything together for the party. And Tasia she's very nice looking girl to me. But I don't think, here we go. So, you remember last time, everybody had their significant others there. Because, you know, right now, Sam, is that his name? Simon? All of them are still there. But that previous episode or night or couple of nights before that, Nick didn't have her there. She wasn't at the meet and greet initially. So that's neither here nor there. So Amir finally can, you know, breaks away from the ball and chain. But these things are going to be led up to what's going to happen at the party. So when he finally breaks away from the ball and chain, you know, everybody's like, you know, what's going on with you? And he knows that she does not really want him around Jordan, especially. She is so insecure around Jordan that she can't even barely function in the house. Well, girl, you can go. That's how I see it. But anyway, so the other guests start arriving, you know, for the party. Nick's gathering. And Mariah's there. So Mariah confronts, I wish she would stop talking to that dude. Period. I just wish. So she goes over and she talks to Amir. She calls him to the side one more time. And she is as cordial as she can be with him. You know, she's like, well, you know, I don't think that you understand that people don't do that. People don't put clothes in the in the common laundry area for the dog. Oh, I do it all the time. Another indication that Amir has a problem being around and comfortable around other people of African descent. It's just not his zhuzh. But around Natalie, that's not his zhuzh either. Natalie is his mother figure. she's there to tell him what to do. Anyway, move right along. So the party is underway. We have all our Greek letter organizations there, and then a lady by the name of Destiny appears. When a Destiny appears, there's Natalie's insecurities coming out again. He's like, "Is that Jordan?" So there it goes again. It makes it seem like, we all look alike type of thing. As Africans, stolen Africans. And he's like, "Babe, what's wrong? Are you mad?" Well, you did say, "Is that Jordan?" And he was like, "Well, how am I supposed to know? These women change their wigs about every 5 minutes." And I'm like, "Okay, so you're playing into the stereotype about these women. Maybe some of them might have real hair. How do you know? We don't know that, do we?" Anyway, so we get into the history of things because the number 5, we're going to talk about the number 5. Well, Nick pledged capital. And we're going to get the history about Nick's friend who pledged capital with him. He was on his line. His line number was number 5. And as of late, things have been happening to Nick and 5. So that's the significance of the number 5. And he was like, he was very, very emotional. And I definitely felt for him. He was like, who would have been here for me during that marathon? Bill. I think his name was Bill. Bill would have been here for me. And he was on my line. And he was my line brother. And we had a special bond. And a freak accident happened to him, which was so amazing to me, even though and this is why I don't want it to be a situation where the stereotype is out there for my girls that Black women don't know how to swim. So I'm about to get them swimming lessons, and I'm going to join them. I would say I don't know how to swim, but then there's a whole situation where I haven't been around water like that either. So, and it goes to show no, nothing is ever guaranteed because he was an awesome swimmer and he still passed away. He drowned. He said it was so ironic that he drowned, and I was like, I would like to know more into that. But anyway, he drowns and he's talking about it and he carries on. And then, we find out that a lot of members of the Divine Nine are in the house. So they start to stroll, and Preston's like, I know they're not strolling because Preston is an alpha, right? And like I said, Nick and Alex are Kappas. So when they stroll, the famous stroll of the Kappas is the shimmy, shake your shoulders, if you will. And they flash to Alex, and it was like, he's like Kappa adjacent. He's like, I know, I'm not supposed to, break line or whatever. That's one thing I do know. I'm surprised. How do you know that? You don't know nothing else about Black folk. Anyway, so Alex gives the history of the stroll. This is my favorite part because they're gonna show my school, baby. Baby, don't you know I tweeted it? He goes over the history of the stroll, and the history of the stroll is like when they didn't have music, they would, come up with different dances and stuff like that. And he's like, if you know, you know. And then same thing with Nick. Nick was like, yeah, he gave a history of the stroll, and he was like, and we do these things and to entertain as well. And a lot of people, you can stand around and be entertained by the stroll, but it is very imperative that you not break their line when they're strolling. The thing about it though, for me, because I went to college, baby, I went to college with, and I was friends with every member of the Divine Nine that you could possibly know. I had My best guy friend was an alpha. My Scorpio brother was an alpha. His girlfriend was an AKA. Uh, One of my good friends, she was a Delta, and um, what else? Did I have any more? Oh, yeah. And two of my suite mates were Zetas. And at the time, was sadly, we didn't have. And at the time when I was at the Jackson State, which was featured on the show when he was going over the history of the stroll, they didn't have any SG rows on my yard. But they went over. I never would have expected they would have showed Jackson State though, because they normally show East Coast schools when they talk about the history of the HBCU. They usually show schools like Hampton and Howard, and maybe for South they'll show Spearman and Clark and Morehouse usually, but Nick actually went to Tuskegee, and so they talked about the history of those schools and how Greek life entered the black school, and it was very interesting. And he broke down the history of the Divine Nine. Nick goes into that, and he names the members of the Divine Nine. When we say Divine Nine, we mean the 4 Greek letter organizations for the females, and then the 5 for the males. So it's the Iotas. I have to name them first because I forget, because they definitely won on Jackson State campus. And the Capitals were banned on Jackson State campus because they had been on probation since 1994 for an incident. So a nationwide incident. So they didn't have a line on our yard until 1996, I believe. So we go with the Iotas, the Omegas, the Alphas, the Kappas. Ooh, I thought I had it. If I start with the Iotas, I think I'm going to get it right. So I'm missing somebody clearly. Let's go back over again. Oh, Sigmas. There you go. Got it. Okay. Then it's going to be easy for me to remember the Zetas and the Sigmas because they are constitutionally bound and are the only Greek letter organization that are true sisters in a sisterhood. The rest of them are in sisterhoods as well, but it's just due to, affiliation, basically. Like with the Deltas and the Omegas, they have an affiliation because, of the purple and gold and the violets and things like that. And then you have the AKAs, they're basically frats and sorors with the AKAs because of them being the first. The absent AKAs first. And I guess, the Sigma Gamma Rose and the Kappas are frat and soror. I don't know. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about the SG Rose because they weren't on our yard. But, so he names all 5 of the male Greeks, and then he names the 4 female Greek little organizations. He starts it off with in order. But I do know the females in order. I know the alphas are first, but I believe I do. I think it's AKAs, the Deltas, Zetas. I know Sigma Gamma Rho is last because I think they were founded in 1922. The AKAs was founded in 1908. You can't ever forget that because they say it all the time if you went to college. And then the Deltas were founded in 1913. And the Zetas were founded as birth from the Sigma was founded in 1920, I want to say. And then the Sigma Gamma Rose, I believe, were 1922. They just had their centennial, I want to say. Okay, I'm rusty. But anyway, I enjoyed the knowledge. So then we find out how messy Natalie is, right? She knows for her not to want to be around the black folks, she knows everybody's business. So she's in there telling Brill what went down between the girls, right? So she's telling everybody's business. So Yeah, girl, yeah, I heard everything. She tells Amir that too. I heard everything. They were arguing, and I believe it was something about Noel pushing, and they were up to 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm not about that life though. But I can tell their business. But I'm not about that life. So then we have let's see what happened next. While she's over there telling everybody's business and annoying the fuck out of everybody in the house and being very, very antisocial, while everybody is dancing and enjoying themselves, we find out that Simon decides that he wants to act the fool and put on, now Phil arrives too, and decides that he wants to put on a flamingo costume. Oh my goodness. See, at this event, shout out to Letitia, this is supposed to be an event for Nick. And Nick is very prim and proper. So he wants this to go off without a hitch. And, Brill's like, go take that thing off. This is the next event. Don't do anything stupid. And what does he do? And I am so glad that, he was able to, be himself. But at the same time, it wasn't the time or place. Because, she did tell him nicely. Now for his Bria, she will act the fool. She was being, in her Bria way. She just told me, don't do that. Don't do that. Because, Nick's thing is supposed to be, top tier. We're not going to do that. So he hunches his butt around. Yeah, he did. And that doggone flamingo costume walking up on him now. He had about 6 inches to get up in one of them strolls in that flamingo costume. He was going to be flat out on the floor. And that's what I was going to say about you breaking the stroll line. Child, they'll break you. That's the problem. They are disrespectful to other people that are not Greek when they do the strolls. That's my only problem with it. I don't mind because I know not to break the line. I mean, I got sense, right? But, let you be standing by a queue and a Tommy dog comes on. I had a queue trying to holler at me. A Tommy dog came on, and next thing I know, he done damn near spinning around in the air, the damn near punched me in my face with his elbow. See, that's what I'm talking about. They don't have respect for GDIs when they doing that stuff. You got to, they take up the whole floor, and then it's almost like you can't even dance off a Tommy dog. And I love that song. And I be like, I be wanting to do the dog. Because, it was a dance called the dog. And didn't have anything to do with the Greeks. It was a dance called the dog. And when a Tommy dog comes on, I want to dance too. Right, that's not your song. So you could be a little bit more respectful. That's all I was going to say about that. But anyway, neither here nor there. And wipe me down. Look, when the Kappas get on the floor, wipe me down. Child. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. Simon could have been flat on the floor. So they go upstairs, and Bria is talking to him like he's her child. And she tells him, I'm going to break up with you if you don't stop acting a fool, if you don't stop being dumb and stupid. And I'm like, girl, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? I mean, he has a history of doing things, that's out of pocket. For one thing is, Bria, you want to cross the line. You want him to be more understanding of your culture. First of all, you probably hadn't educated him on your culture. That's the first thing. Second thing is you can't expect him to know how to weave himself in and out of how to be around black people. Now, the thing about Nellie is, my problem with her is that she's not trying. That's number one. And number two, she don't care. And number three, Amir is not the one to weave her into black culture. So as she's breaking up with him, she decides she's gonna pop his little uniform thing, and they say the thing smell like booty when she popped it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. She gets tired of him. They break up, and it's yet another to be continued. But I have to tell you about what's gonna happen in that next episode, because Natalie's gonna be all up in the mix. She's gonna tell Tasia something about Nick that may end up rocking his world and may end up breaking them up. And I hope those women in the house drag her like she needs to be dragged across the floor by her toenails and by her hair, because Amir don't get her straight, but these women in the house certainly can, and I hope that they do. And with that, I'm going to close. Please comment, like, subscribe, share if you care. Share the video, because what we doing, sharing is caring, right? And as I do when I close, I'm going to come up. Deuces. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell button so you will be notified when I upload a video.